Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World of WWE podcast, second annual Slammy Awards. This is the Slammy Awards of 2021. I am your host, Ant, and I am joined by...
What's up, guys? It's Macho Man Dan.
Dig it.
Dig
There's a weird noise in the background, Dan. What is happening?
Yeah, we love you guys. It's our fans, man. Come on.
Oh,
we gotta
that's
acknowledge
you.
them.
Oh, that was you. I was confused as to who or what was happening back there. It's our fans. And then when you said fans, I thought you meant like your house has like fans going, and that was the noise of that.
No.
But anyways, if you are tuning in, you're obviously here to check out our second annual Slammy Awards. We have told you we have a huge announcement regarding the
Blockbuster announcement.
Blockbuster, yes, regarding the channel's future, which we will make at the very end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And for all those of you who are new to the podcast, welcome. We are the World of WWE podcast, and we are your go-to source for everything WWE. We are at the end of the year, so today we are giving you our second annual Slammy Awards. This is basically our award show where we are naming the top wrestlers of 2021 and so much more. But before we dive in, I want to thank you all for tuning into us. If you are checking us out on Spotify, thank you. Make sure you like us, as well as Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and much more. Make sure you subscribe and like. Also, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, and also hit the notification bell as well to stay notified when new content is created. We are also available on Instagram at world.wwe podcast. We post a lot there, and yeah, that is a mouthful to say. But yes, aside from that, welcome to the second annual Slammy Awards. I'm excited. There are a lot of different awards to give out this year. Dan, how are you feeling about this 2020?
I'm very excited, bro. Come on. It's the Slammy Awards.
Dig it.
You like the dig it part, don't you?
That's my favorite part of it, the dig it. Dig it.
Dig it.
It's very intense. So why don't we just go right into it? The first award of the night is going to be Tag Team of the Year. There were a lot of great tag teams of 2021. Here is our actual options for Tag Team of the Year. Our options were RK Bro, the Street Profits, Alpha Academy, the Usos, Rhea Ripley and Nikki Almost a Superhero, the Mysterios, AJ Styles and Omos, the New Day, and Tamina and Natalya. And with that, there were so many options, but Dan and I came together, and our pick, Dan, if you'd like to tell us who is our pick for the tag team of 2021, tag team of the year.
That would be the Usos.
Ooh, Usos. And Dan, why don't you let everyone know why we came to the decision of the Usos being the tag team of the year?
Well, so basically, yeah, they've been in the company for a while. They've gone through some gimmicks, but nothing ever fit like the down since day one-ish gimmick. Nothing's ever fit them better than this bloodline gimmick with Roman Reigns. They fit it perfectly. They play their parts to the point. They are a great tag team. They've held the tag titles for how long? Since like
I think it's SummerSlam, maybe at least since August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, they are doing great, bro. So
yeah, they've had a lot of good rivalries this year too with the Street Profits. Kevin Owens, they've obviously been siding with Roman Reigns, so anyone that Reigns is fighting, the Usos are right behind him. Right now, they're currently in a rivalry against the New Day, and they are heading into the new year defending their titles against the New Day at the Day 1 pay-per-view. So there's good things to look out for 2022, but obviously the Slammy goes to the Usos because they totally kicked ass and changed the game this year. So kudos to you, the Usos. But I will say that does not make me change my mind on Jimmy Uso for fucking drinking, then blaming his wife and having Carlos have a hissy fit, fighting with me, blaming Naomi for Jimmy Uso's arrest. It's not her fault, man. Shame, shame. Well, moving on to shame, our next Slammy is for the shocking moment of the year. So these are going to be moments that had us shocked, surprised, couldn't believe this happened. And there were a lot of different moments, but here are the list. We had Becky Lynch returning at SummerSlam, Bobby Lashley putting the Hurt Lock on Goldberg's son, Alexa Bliss ends up embracing the dark side and joins up with her new friend Lily, Edge returning and winning the Royal
Well, he
Rumble.
didn't return, but he came in, won the Rumble.
He didn't return, but he did win the Rumble. I mean, that was a big deal. This moment took place in WrestleMania 37 when Bianca Belair used her ponytail to whip Sasha Banks in the midsection. If you go back and listen to it, it is crazy. Then we have just recently Roman Reigns firing Paul Heyman and delivering a Superman punch. Cesaro performing the Cesaro swing and using his head on Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 37. The real-life beef between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Madison Square Garden live at SmackDown. Seth Rollins injuring Edge and making him get carted out of the arena in a stretcher. Big E becoming new WWE champion. And Christian returning at the Royal Rumble. And this year's Slammy for shocking moment of the year is Christian actually returning to the Royal Rumble. There's so much hype behind a lot of the
returns during the Rumble. Yeah. No one knows who's going to be there. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to predict.
And Christian, we weren't expecting at all because Christian had been like pretty much retired.
He's been retired since like 2014, I think.
Yeah. And so to see him come back in the ring and to share a moment with Edge was really cool.
It was very emotional too.
Yeah, it was. And, eventually we do know that he would eventually leave and go to AEW later on in the year. But seeing him return was actually pretty shocking. And we really thought it was the most shocking moment of the year for us. Next, moving right along, we have the Slammy Award for the Rising Star of the Year. This award is basically going to go to someone who is pretty new to the WWE main roster and someone that we believe sort of rose to the top in 2021 and has a lot of things looking forward in 2022. And these rising stars, the options are WWE United States Champion Damian Priest, Omos, Dominic Mysterio, Doudrop, WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Queen Zelina, Reggie, and Ridge Holland, and of course Austin Theory. And Dan, why don't you tell us who the Slammy Award goes to for Rising Star?
We had to go with Austin Theory.
And why? Why don't you let them know what was about Austin Theory that made us go with him?
Well, I mean, normally when you have a new guy, WWE doesn't exactly go for them. Like, they don't back them up. I mean, there have been a few, yes, but recently, WWE's really been behind Austin Theory, and I mean, it's hard not to understand why. I mean, the man's a great wrestler and everything. Look, he was the sole survivor, I believe it was, of Team Raw this year, if I'm correct.
Yeah. The thing about Austin Theory that's cool, too, is he's actually a really good in-ring performer, and he does remind me a lot of, like, a young Randy Orton, young John Cena. That's probably shocking to hear, but I do think he sort of has that factor that a lot of people are looking for in the business. And I definitely think Austin Theory was the rising star of 2021. For sure. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and then we have our picks for match of the year, male wrestler of the year, and when we come back, female wrestler of the year. And don't forget our huge blockbuster announcement. It's going to change the game. Stick around. We'll be right back with the second annual Slammy Awards. And welcome back. Yes, definitely make sure you check us out on Anchor. It is the best platform to use to create your own podcast for free, definitely check out Anchor. And we are back with the second annual Slammy Awards. Dan, we are almost there, and we are on our best female wrestler of the year. The females definitely stole the show in a lot of the matches this year, and here are some of the wrestlers who paved the way. And those female wrestlers include Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Rhea Ripley, Nikki Almost a Superhero, Asuka, and Queen Zelina. A lot of options, but
there can only be one winner.
There's only one winner. You're right, Dan. And that winner, the Slammy, goes to, for Female Wrestler of the Year,
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. Big time Bex. You know, it was hard to choose, but even though Becky Lynch returned in August, once she returned,
she's made a huge impact since she returned.
Yeah, she definitely did. The women's.
I mean, look, she beat Bianca Belair, one of the women who WWE was behind for the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
She beat her in, what was it, like 26 seconds?
She did. She beat Bianca Belair. She beat Sasha Banks. She's beaten Charlotte Flair. Liv Morgan. I mean, everybody Becky has had to face, she's defeated. And I honestly don't think that there has been any female better than her this year. Bianca Belair definitely had a great year, but Becky Lynch has had a greater impact this year. So, Dan, we are now on our Slammy Award for the Male Wrestler of the Year. And our options for that are WWE Champion Big E, WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Edge, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, The Miz, and Bobby Lashley. Dan, why don't you tell the folks at home the Slammy Award for Male Wrestler of the Year?
Well, before I say anything, I must acknowledge him for being the number one person. If you could not already tell, it is Roman Reigns.
Yes. Roman Reigns is definitely the Male Wrestler of the Year. Dan, tell us why we chose him.
I mean, just look at the man's resume. He's been champion for a year now, a whole year. I mean, it's not very often. The last person that did it was Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
So, I mean, fuck. If that doesn't make you one of the top people, I don't know what the fuck does.
Well, Roman Reigns definitely had a hell of a year. He definitely was the one that everybody, like he said, he was the needle mover. He was the one that had the table. Just honestly kicking ass this year. So he definitely, Slammy Award does go to him for Male Wrestler of the Year. I'm like flipping up my words, and it's definitely okay. Now, our final award of the night is the Slammy Award for the Match of the Year. We had a bunch of matches, but we're just going to say a couple of them. Obviously, WrestleMania 37, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. We have Fastlane, Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. Also, WrestleMania 37, Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. At Money in the Bank, Edge versus Roman Reigns. Crown Jewel, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan versus Edge at WrestleMania 37. At SmackDown at Madison Square Garden on September 10th, 2021, Seth Rollins taking on Edge. We also have at Survivor Series, Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. Edge versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. And Dan, after I just spoke a lot, you can tell us, please, the match of the year.
The match of the year, hands down, was Edge versus Seth Rollins at Madison Square Garden.
Yes, it definitely was. I was there live with Carlos, and it was a great, great match. I was excited, to see Edge.
I'm sure, Anthony, you were also crying considering what you saw what happened to Edge.
Yeah, well, Edge is definitely my favorite wrestler, so yeah, to see him get injured wasn't a lot of fun, but it was great to actually see him in person. I haven't seen Edge since about 2007. So to see him again was really great. And Seth Rollins and him tore the house down. And I don't think there was really a match that really topped that, in my opinion. And
I don't think there could be a match that topped that.
no, there's not. So we made it through the award show. There really wasn't, this isn't going to be a long episode. This is just a little quick episode, a little quick episode to kind of get your taste buds pumping, because we have on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2021, our New Year's Eve 2022 countdown episode. We are going to be talking about our top 5 male wrestlers, female wrestlers, top 5 rivalries, matches, and much more. And we're going to be counting down all of those with you live on December 31st, starting at 8 p.m. The World of WWE podcast, New Year's Eve 2022 countdown show. Stay tuned for that. But Dan, it is now time for our blockbuster.
What is the news, Ant? What are we finally going to reveal?
Well, we here at the World of WWE podcast have enjoyed covering all things WWE, but it is time for a change. We have discovered that we are major fans of other wrestling companies, and diversity is very good. So we are we are changing our ideals of, yes, our brand. Exactly, Dan. This is why I have you. We are changing our brand, our ideals, and our thoughts, and we have a whole new name. And our new name of our channel is the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. And exactly that is what you heard. We are going to be covering all things pro wrestling. So you will be.
We can mention AEW. We can mention Impact. We can mention Ring of Honor. Anything is on the table now, guys.
Yeah, possibly. Yes. We're working out the kinks, but you will see that. So when you do look for us, it will no longer be the World of WWE podcast. It will be the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. And you will see that change happen on February 16th, 2022. So until then, we will still be the World of WWE podcast. And kind of like the WWE's sort of platform of get the F out, we will be getting the World of WWE out of here on February 16th. And there will be new shows. We will definitely be covering all things AEW. You will be meeting Nick again, who will be covering shows along with Dan. Carlos will still be around to cover all things WWE. It's just a better show for you all. So again, the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast coming to you live, uncooked, uncorked, and uncensored on February 16th, 2022. You should be there for that. And yes, that is it for our Slammy Awards. Dan, it has been a hell of a year. A lot has happened, and we both are looking forward to 2022. And
let's hope the brand gets better, considering the fact that they've released so many superstars this year. Let's hope they don't do that next year.
I know. Let's hope that things change for the better. And yes, stay
But
safe.
hey, if you think about it, as of day one, it will be Royal Rumble season.
That is right, my man. Yes, and speaking of that, we will have our day one predictions. I will be defending my title against hopefully Dan and Carlos. But we will be making our predictions for day one, and that will be happening on January. Or no, not January. It'll be on December 31st too. Gosh, we have 2 big headers. So yeah, so be prepared. That will be dropping though earlier on December 31st. So our day one predictions will be dropping at 11 a.m. and our New Year's Eve countdown special will be happening at 8 p.m. So a lot to stay with us all day on New Year's Eve. Listen to some old episodes, have some fun. But yes, that is it. Stay safe, everyone, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.